wall is a camera looking out into the space. With this kind of input, it's easy to... So this is what a few hundred videos of something look like. And with this sort of input, it's easy to produce three-dimensional videos. Now, while this may look somewhat compelling, it captures only a series of 3D structures without any understanding of what the user is doing. It won't help us understand what's important to capture, what's important to display, or how to predict out into the future. What's much more interesting and important is the ability of the studio to capture unconstrained 3D motion. In this scene, confetti is flying around the inside of the dome. And you can see it can reconstruct this unconstrained motion inside the space. Why this is important is that the dome is now a large, massive, markerless motion capture system that doesn't care what the movement is inside that space. It can provide you with a measure of that motion. Let's see what happens when there are people inside the space. All right? There are two people playing with a volleyball. And the system can capture hundreds of thousands of points on each of the players, capturing all those nuances of movement that we talked about earlier. Here's that mafia sequence I showed you earlier. To demonstrate the point, we've automatically marked and tracked anatomical landmarks on the face and body using a state-of-the-art computer vision algorithm. I hope you'll agree that we've made sensible choices on the most important points on the body. See if you can still see what you think you saw when you saw deception earlier, when I remove the video, and just play the points. Somehow, when the subtleties and the details are gone, that signal that we all saw is lost. The Panoptic Studio can capture the subtle motion of the full social group at much higher, at unprecedented levels of detail. And I'm excited about how much more we can discover about how people interact with each other. Now, the point of this is obviously not to install a crazy dome in everyone's living room. The purpose of facilities like the Panoptic Studio is to capture the raw data from which we can discover the structure of the elaborate code, and to endow virtual systems with the sort of imagination that we talked about before. We're of course a long way from cracking the code and producing a computational model of social interaction, but a lot of progress has been made, and I'm confident that we will get there. Although it's not possible yet to say when that will happen, but once we're able to experience full bandwidth social interactions, it'll change everything. Social VR done right has the potential for the very first time in history to let us define our tribe, who we hang out with, who we collaborate with to do great things, not based on proximity or happenstance, but by personal choice. As we saw earlier, the first wave of VR interactions will be stylized avatars. And even with such a tiny subset of behavior being transmitted, it was so engaging. But the full power of social VR will be realized when we're socially present with real people that we recognize and care about. Once that happens, we will see the emergence of a new social fabric with emotional connections that can grow and deepen with anyone, anywhere in the world. There are deep and interesting grand technical challenges we need to solve before we realize this vision. But when we do, I'm excited by how it will change the way we live on this world with each other. Thank you. Thank you for coming to F8 and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Welcome back from the keynote. We hope you had a great time. We are here in the Artificial Intelligence booth at the San Francisco. I have here Annabelle Gould. Hi, how are you doing? Hi.